Okay. Now what we need to do is do a bit of work on the head so we can later on change the expressions of the face of the character. And in order to do that, I need to first make a selection. I'm going to add another material here in rendering editors. I'm going to reopen my Hypershade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another font material. Let me see. Font, where is it? Yeah. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to double click on this one, and this one will be called facial expression. Facial expression. Okay. Expressions. Facial expressions. And what I'm going to do here is in color, I'm going to add here in color, I'm going to add a file texture to it. Okay. And we'll come back and work a little bit on this one later on. But first, for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this guy over here and go and jump into my my front view. Okay. On the front view, I need to choose the following faces of the character. So I'm going to pick. I'm gonna jump into face mode. And I'm gonna pick all these faces on the character. Okay. I'm gonna jump to the side view. Just make sure to select the faces on the back of the character. So I end up with only the faces on the front part selected. Okay, like this. Okay. And I open this guy again. And with the faces selected, I'm going to right click over the material and I'm going to go here and assign material to selection. Okay, so from now on, these faces have a different material assigned to them. And I also need to maybe just make sure that I'm gonna minimize this, and I need to make the UVs for these faces. So I'm gonna click over here. Again, I'm going to split my my viewport in two, a little bit more like this. And on this side, I'm going to click here and jump into the UV texture editor. All right. So I only have this selection here. With the faces still selected, I'm going to jump into create UVs, and I'm going to do a planar mapping. And I'm going to reset the settings. I'm just going to select the Z axis, since it's, as you can see over here, is the axis I want to make the projection from, based on the Z axis, which is the front axis like this. And I'm going to project. All right. Okay. And now after that, I just need to go back into object mode. And as you can see here, if I press 6 on the keyboard, you'll notice that now the faces are kind of like detached from the head. This is important because we're going to change this space. We're going to take this texture and change all the faces only on this part of the head, not the whole head. You might ask why is that we did it this way instead of just taking out, selecting all the faces and detach them from the head. And the reason is because remember, this is the smoothed out view of the characters. So if I just separate these faces from the rest of them, when I press 3 on the keyboard, they won't match anymore. The corners over here won't match anymore. We will be losing this roundness to the head. So that's the reason why we're just assigning a new material to the head, but that's not really a problem. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reselect the faces. Back into my oops, I'm gonna jump here on my front view and select back all these faces. I'll select the back of it. Okay, so with those faces selected, I'm gonna go back here, split my viewport in two, and select again the UV texture editor. Open up the UV texture editor again. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and minimize the rest of the UVs because I'm not gonna need them, and I need these space as reference to put all the faces that I will be selecting. So I'm going to right click here and click UV, select some UVs in here, and then go select shell, and scale this thing down. Scale it down. Same thing with this one. Right click, select shell, make this one super small. I'm just gonna move it out of the way. I'm gonna bring them here to the corner where there are really no, where they really won't interfere with the rest of my UVs. Right, so I'm just taking these guys over here, move them out of the way. You'll see in a minute why I'm doing this. I'm just bringing it down here so they're just don't get in the way. Also in here, select shell, make it super small, put it out right there. Okay. So this way, I'm going to save this image as a reference to where to put my faces, my face texture. And in order to do so, I need all the other textures to be moved out of the way, so out of my work area, which will be this one. And since the rest of the head is basically a field color, a yellow, their entire yellow, we don't have any more textures in here. We don't care about the mapping of them. I mean the size of the mapping, it could be this way. It will only be completely yellow. Okay. All right. So once we have this with the head selected and the UVs laid out here, I'm going to the polygons menu here, and the last option is called UV snapshot. I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to create a file. If I browse, I'm going into my Legoman folder, source images, and this one will be called Lego Face UVs. Lego Face UVs. I'm going to click save. And the size of my texture will be 512 by 512. You can make them bigger or slower, as much as you want. I don't think we need a bigger texture, bigger size than this, because the bigger the texture, the more the space we will consume, and the heavier the scene will be at the time of animating it. And seems we'll be getting good results unless you're making a unless you're making a close-up of the face. You won't really notice too much the details on it. So I think 500 by 512, it's an interesting aspect ratio and size of the texture. Just make sure you keep the aspect ratio. Your color value remains white. You anti-alias the lines. Select this option right here. And the image format, it needs to be PNG, since we need it to be transparent, because underneath we're going to lay out the rest of the face texture. So with that in mind, I just press OK here, and basically my texture has been created. I'm going to jump right now into my Google or Internet Explorer, and since I don't have Photoshop, I'm going to use Photoshop Online, photoshoponlinefree.com, and I'm going to open an image from computer. I'm going to select the Lego face UVs that I just created, and this is it. This is my guideline, all right, for where to put the face. Then I'm going to open an image. I have an image here with some of the faces we copied. Remember, we have these faces in here. There's just some faces I found in the internet, but seriously, you can just do your own faces if you want, and it really doesn't matter. So these have a good expressions, and they seem to be pretty nice. There's a ton more, and but on this tutorial we'll just be making one, since it's pretty much the same process to make the rest of them. I'm going to use I think I'm going to have to decide quick. I think I'm going to use this one right here, or maybe this one. Okay, so I'm going to select this face, something more standard. Yeah, that face. I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to go here. No, I need. Sorry, I need this, the marquee. And I'm going to select the face around there. It doesn't have to be a perfect selection. It's okay like that. And I'm going to copy this guy here. I'm going to jump back in here, and I'm going to paste it. Paste it. Okay, it pasted up as a new layer. So as you can see, I can turn on and off the UVs. I'm going to bring this underneath the UVs, and with the wand, where's the wand? Over here, I'm going to select the white part of it. And actually, let me try something. What happened if I just I'm going to change the color here. The background color will be, like we said, since we're using the same palette, RGB, I'm going to type the red value to 155, the green value to 155, and the blue value will be 0. And that should be the same yellow that I'm using on the head of the Lego. So with the bucket, I'm going to click here, and I have a yellow background on the face. Okay. So now I finally can select. I can finally select this guy over here. All right. And I'm going to change its size with the free transform option. I press Shift to keep the aspect ratio of it, and I'm going to make it big, like that big. Remember that this is the face we'll be putting on the character. Since I think that size is, I'll try to just center the face a little bit more over there. If this line is the center of the face, I need to bring it more like this. All right. So I'm going to leave that. I think that's okay. You want to apply the changes? Yes. Oh, it's moving it again. I don't know why. This is kind of like a bug on this thing. Every time I apply, it just puts the face over there. I'm not really sure why it's doing that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use the free transform, make the head a little bit like this, and just move it back over here. And then when I apply the changes, yes, the head's still there. I don't know why it's doing that. It's really driving me crazy, but I'm going to select this and just move it around here to the center. And maybe just I'll do, actually before bringing it to the center, I'm gonna bring it here and scale it again. I have to scale this guy a little bit more like this. Oops. Just gonna do that because I pressed Control instead of Shift. So let me go and with Shift. I'm going to yeah, exactly. I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to click outside. You want to apply? Yes, I want to apply the changes. So you see this time it did it okay. So I don't know exactly why it's doing that, but anyway, I'm just gonna put the. I guess if you have Photoshop, you won't have this type of issues. But I'm putting the head over there. All right, and with the bucket, I'm going to fill up the rest of the background like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hide my layer, and that will be the face I'll be working on. So I'm going to here File. I'm going to save this image, but I'm not going to overwrite it. This will be Lego face, and instead of UVs, I'm going to type _01, and this will be a JPEG at 100%. You can spend more time. I didn't really polish the face over here just because otherwise the tutorial will be hours and hours long. So I'm just putting the face over there. I'm just click here, okay, and I'm gonna save it at the same place. Source images, Lego face 01. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go. Yes, source images. That's okay. Here's source images, Lego face 01. I click save, and I jump back into Maya. And what I'm going to do now, I think I can close this. Or I'm just gonna go here like this. I'm gonna bring up this thing again, this guy again, and remember you can just place the cursor over here and press A on the keyboard to basically just average just put inside all the nodes you have in there. Okay, it works the same way here, like in the viewport. If you click on here and you press F, you focus over it, and if you click A, you average the whole view, and you have all the nodes in there. So I'm just going to either double click the material here and then click the small square here to get to the file thing, or I can just double click the file node here, and now where image name appears, I'm going to select the file I just saved, which is Lego face 01, and I'm gonna open it, and now I can let me see why it's not oh, it's not connected. So I have this, but the file is not connected. So what I'm going to do, I need to connect the color of the file to the color of the material here. So I'm going to take this with middle mouse button. I select this, and I press the middle mouse button and drag and drop over this arrow. So from this arrow to this arrow, and see how I have a small square here with different options. It is asking me, okay, which component of the file texture you want to connect to the material. And for now, I'm just going to choose color. I could also choose ambient color, incandescence, transparency, bump, but in reality, the only thing I need is the diffuse or the color of the texture. So I'm going to click coloring here, and as you can see, now the face is assigned to the Lego character. I think it looks a little stretched, a little bit stretched there. So it could be because of the layout of the UVs. So you can tweak it. You can tweak it a bit more. I won't get really picky about the end result. And but one thing you could do is I could either come back here and just make this face um, a little bit. You can change here the facial expression, the face, sorry, to be a little bit. If I use the transform, I can make it a bit like this. And then with the bucket, you see it's moving it. I don't know why it's driving me nuts. Anyway, I'm just going to move this guy over here again. That shouldn't happen with Photoshop, but I guess it's because this tool is free. It's full of bugs. But anyway, that's what I have available. Okay, so I go here and save the scene, save the texture with the same name, not PNG. Remember, it's JPEG, 100%. Okay, same place here. Save. Yes. And if I go here in Maya, I could just double click on the file node and click reload, and you see now the face. I forgot to hide the UV map, so you see it's the grid appears on his face. So I'm going to go back here and just go to hide this layer because it wasn't hide that. So I save the texture with the grid. I'm going to hide the layer and then just basically overwrite my file. Save, yes. Go back into Maya, select file, and then reload. And now I got rid of it, and the face, it's more. I think it looks better now. So that last step with the file. Once I have this one, I pretty much go back to this part of the process and create as many faces as I want. And later on, we don't need to go through this process because there's an option in here. As you can see, it's named Use Image Sequence. So I can just turn this one on, and by having our textures name with underscore 01, 02, 03, etc., we can have as many faces in the same spot. We don't have to build the whole process, to build the whole shader network every time we need to do a face. Up to this point, I would say you could just continue in Photoshop creating as many faces as you want. And actually, yes, we have time. The tutorial could end up here, but I'm going to continue now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select another face. I'm going to do another texture just to show you guys how you could continue doing this. So let me see if I'm going to select this one over here, this guy over here. Okay, so I go edit, copy, and then over here I'm going to edit, paste. Okay, and with the bucket I'm going to click here. I'm going to select this face again. I'm going to change its size with the free transform option. I'm going to set the size like that. First like that. I remember for some reason I need to do this first here. Click outside, apply the changes, yes, and now I can repeat the whole process. I don't know why. Anyway, I can just do this, free transform, then make this face bigger, move it to the center over there. Let me turn on this guy here. Yes. Let me turn on this guy over here. And actually, I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to bring this one in between, and there should be some sort of transparency here for this layer in particular. No, maybe here, layer styles, maybe. No. What's this? Oh, opacity. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to make this. Okay, it seems that the expression is almost there. It's the eyes. What worry me, what had me worried that the size of the eyes would be too different, but really it seems to be in place. So I'm just gonna hide this layer, and I will fill up with the bucket. I will just fill up. Oh, no, not that one. This one. Let me jump in here, fill up this, and unselect or hide the grid, and then I'm going to save this texture as Lego Face 02. And here again, it's JPEG 100. I'm going to click OK. This will be Lego Face 02 save. And now the interesting thing is here. I double click the file. You can see it says Lego Face 01, but I can select this option, use image sequence. And now if I jump to frame number 2, if I go from frame 1 and frame 2, you see that the expression is changing the character. For now, we don't really have control over it, because as soon as I jump to frame 3, it goes back to the default or the first face. But later on I'll show you how we're going to end up creating a panel over here. So whenever we select the head or a control over here in the channel, we'll have an option that what would be called expression, and a pull down with the different types of expression like happy, sad, A, E, B, P, etc. All the expressions you want, and you will be able to key it whichever frame you want. But for now, that's it. I think you can tweak a little bit more. We could tweak a bit more the position of the faces over here. I think there's a bit of jump in there. I'm not sure if it's going to affect me once I create the rest of the expressions, but for now, I think it's okay like that. There's an option here. Just want to find an option to this one, rearrange graph. So whenever you have stuff like this, for example, you can click here, and you have it rearranged, right? And if you see that disappeared, like if I do something like that, you have something like this, you can just click here, rearrange, and it rearrange. If you don't see this, like if it's something like this, like it happened before, remember you can just press A on the keyboard, and it makes everything fit inside the available space. Anything here, if I click here, everything's there. All right, so I hope this is okay. I'll see you in class next lesson. Thank you very much. Don't forget to close this, bring your character to the center, build as many faces as you need for your animation, for your final project, and save your scene. All right, thank you very much. See you next one.